is constructed, the steps you must follow in constructing the WBS, and what are the different parts of WBS. We looked at some examples, and then we stopped at this point where we discussed some other points as well. Let me see. Yeah, so you must identify the team members, you must assign the responsibility and so on. So connected to that discussion is the creation of a responsibility matrix. Okay, and we call it the RACI matrix. Responsible, accountable, consulted and informed. Okay, this is for the sake of explaining it, for the sake of starting on this topic. Okay, but you can divide the responsibilities as you want. Okay, so basically we need to have the list of activities which you have in WBS, and for every activity we need to identify the person who will do it, who will approve it, who will check it, and whatnot. Okay, anything else which is which you need to do in the project. Okay, so we already and I mentioned that. Sorry. Okay. Sorry for letting. Sorry for that, and thank you for letting me know. Can you see the screen now? Okay, thank you. So I was saying that the roles can be as per your organization, and I will further show it to you in the examples that will follow now. So you don't need to stick to these four roles: responsibility, accountability, consultation, and information. Okay, you can make your own roles. For example, this one. Okay, so this follows the same hierarchy of roles which I've discussed earlier. Okay, so we have people who have to be informed, people you need to consult, and people who are responsible to do that. Okay, and then we have people who will there's no approval. Okay, good. So we are following the same RACI approach here. So if you look at the first activity, defining the functional and aesthetic needs. Okay, okay. I don't know what happened to the mic. You can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you look at the first activity, defining the needs. Now, who is supposed to define the needs? Obviously, the client. Okay, the client is supposed to define the needs. Now, which needs we are talking about? Functional and aesthetic. Like which room will be used for what purpose, and what are the, like, how it should look like. Aesthetic means look. Okay, visual. Okay, how it should look like. It should be bigger, smaller. How should be the windows, or what paint, and so on and so forth. Okay, so obviously in this case the client will consult the architect. Okay, the client will consult the architect, and the others will be informed because they will be the ones who will be implementing it. Okay, so the architects normally take care of the functional aspect of the building, the aesthetic aspect of the building. Okay, like how it will work and how it will look. But the project manager is supposed to oversee the construction in the field. Consultant is supposed to design according to the needs, and the contractor is supposed to follow the plan. So these people then are informed. Now I'm not saying that they will fulfill the needs. This is the activity is defining the needs. Okay, activity is defining the needs. The whole project is fulfilling the need. Okay, but the first activity is who will tell me what is the need. Okay, the client will tell me. He will consult the architect. Okay, because we all know like what is aesthetics and civil engineers are. Okay, so you cannot trust them with that. Okay, and whatever aesthetic sense we have, like put in the student clubs, right? ICE or something. But in terms of the real job, we cannot trust civil engineers with the aesthetic sense. So he will consult the architects, and then he will inform the other guys that you have to now do according to that. Okay. Uh, Another thing which you can see in the first row, so I'm just explaining the first row for the sake of example, okay? It's just for the sake of example. So in the first row, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3 roles, okay? So we have consultation, we have information, and we have the responsibility. There is nothing for accountability here. Okay, so like nobody is supposed to take an approval for that, right? The client will discuss, he will finalize, and he will tell the others, these are my needs. Okay, so there is no accountability here. Okay, but if you go to the second row, you will see the accountability aspect, the A aspect. Okay, so who will assess the risk? The consultant, because he is doing the design. He will assess the risk. Okay, and obviously the risk will happen during the construction, so he has to take information from the contractor as well. Okay, once he does that, he will inform the architect that what you are saying will have this risk, this risk, this risk, and the client obviously, okay, because the client may have to pay extra, he has to keep the time in mind and so on and so forth. In the end, the project manager will approve it. Okay, the project manager will approve it. Okay, so how will it work? Consultant will start preparing the risk. During his activity, he will consult the contractor that what are the risks in the field. Once he does that, he will bring it to the project manager. The project manager will approve it. Once the approval is done, he will inform the architect and the consultant. Okay, so this is how it usually happens. The consultation happens, okay, the C part happens with R. The person who is responsible, he is supposed to consult, he is supposed to take information from the others. So consultation means you are taking the background information, you are taking the necessary data which you need for this activity. This is what we mean by consultation. And information happens after. Information happens after. And before information, there should be an approval. Okay, so you cannot pass on half cooked information. Okay, this is just a draft, I will get the approval, but you have a look. Okay, yeah, if it is for the person who gave you the data, like the consultant may show the draft before the project manager to the contractor, that according to what you gave me, this is what I have prepared. Are you happy with it? So I will move on to the next guy, the guy who will give the approval. Okay, but the information should not happen. So between the responsible and the consultant, they could be to and fro. Okay, they could be back and forth. Okay, you give me the information. Now you have a look at this. I prepared this. Is that fine? Okay, give me more information. So it's not one time. Okay, R and C is not one time. Okay, you give me something now, and I will never come back to you. No. Okay, so before you go on to the approval stage, the person responsible should go back. It's a good practice to go back to the person who gave you the background information, that maybe you missed something, you misinterpreted something, he was saying something else, you understood something else. Okay, or maybe things have changed. Okay, you were doing it maybe 1 week ago, now you can see things have changed even in Bahrain. Okay, so you cannot, like, okay, now there's a new situation, what do you propose now? Okay, so there should be some back and forth between these people, and then you go for the approval. After the approval, you go for the information stage. Okay, so the responsible person needs to seek the consultation. Okay, he will go after the people who will give him the data, because in the end he is responsible, and the information should not be before the approval. Okay, so in this chart you can see that all activities do not need all the roles to be fulfilled. Okay, so for the first line and the last line, you do not see, that all roles are fulfilled. Okay, and the last line again, you only see information, consultation, and responsibility. Okay, there is because the responsibility goes to the client directly. Okay, so he will approve in the end. Okay, he's responsible. The activity is approval. The activity is approval. Okay, so he will ask the architect, are you satisfied with the work? You will ask the contractor, are you satisfied with the payment and everything? Okay, did you finish the job from your end? Okay, they both of them say yes. He will go to the site, have a look, approve everything, and then he will inform the client and the consultant and the manager that yes, I have approved everything. The project is from my end finished. Okay. Another example, this is for a software project. Okay. In case you are wondering why we have examples of software projects, these are coming directly from the project management book. Okay, the project management book, if you look at any project management book, you will see most of the examples are from software projects. Okay, because they are in and they have this their stories and whatnot. Okay, so you can the important thing to note down here is there are only three roles. Okay, and they are relevant to what we already discussed, where they are not the same. Okay, so responsibility, review, and accept. Okay, so there is no information here. Okay, there is no role for information here. So it depends upon the project, depends upon the organization. Okay, thus so it's a software project. It's a team who is developing the software. I don't need an outside approval for now. Okay, so that's it. I can work with the roles which I have. Okay, this one for it's I don't know what type of project it is, but this looks like like a, an activity or a sub project which is for uh, bidding. Okay, procurement. Okay, so you have quotations and you have requests and so on and so forth. Okay, so determining the needs, it has two activities. Okay, so this can be done as well. You have the phase, you have the activities, and then you have the metrics. Okay, so you can make it more detailed as well. Here there was one activity and here same, but here you can see this activity belongs to which phase of the project. Okay, and they are using again a different terminology: responsible, support, notification, approval. Okay, so consultation is replaced by support, which basically means the same thing. Okay, the consultant is basically supporting you. Okay, so who determines the need? The project, who is? Okay, the industrial engineer. So it's an industrial project maybe. Okay, he will take the support from the project engineer. He will take the approval from project manager. Okay, so there is no notification here. So again, the same thing which we have mentioned earlier. All roles do not need to be incorporated in all the activities. Okay, this is for a manufacturing project or something. Okay, so you can see the roles are according to the company, not project based. The roles are organization based. Okay, vice president, general manager. Yes, there's a project manager as well, but then there's the people who are already working in the organization. So there's no project, a specific project team here. Okay, client or something. And the rows are many, 6 instead of 4, 6. Okay, actual responsibility, who will supervise it. Okay, who must be consulted, may be consulted, notification, approval. Okay, so who will establish the project plan, who will approve the project plan? The vice president. Okay, who will do the general supervision? The general manager. Who will be responsible for the project? A project manager. So under the general manager, they're the project manager. Okay, who must be consulted? The engineering manager. Okay, who may be consulted? Maybe what? The sub program manager for manufacturing. Okay, if you need information from him, you just go and consult him. Okay, and there's no notification here. If you have seen in the first and the last activities of this chart as well as this one, you don't see the notification thing. Okay, so there's always the first and the last activities are always unique. Okay, so notification from who? There's no notification needed now. Okay, the project has just started, so who to notify now at this stage? So these are things you can like take as guidelines from here. Okay, so going back to the WBS, the discussion was about the responsibility matrix. Now we are going back to the WBS, and In this activity, we'll try to draw up WBS for constructing a garden shed. Okay, this construction, the shed will come prefabricated, but it has to be assembled. Okay, so the roof and the walls and the doors and the windows, they will come. Okay, and you have to assemble it. Okay, and so you have to order the shed. That's one activity, because maybe it's coming from, I told you, in construction projects we discussed earlier, it can take some days when you are ordering something which will come from somewhere. Okay, even within Bahrain, yeah, you order something from a business in Bahrain, it may take 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Okay, so you need to take into account as take it into your account as a separate activity, because it's taking time. Okay, so the ordering of the shed, then buying blocks, sand and cement. Why are we buying them? To build the foundation. Okay, you build the foundation, then you assemble the shed. Okay, so this is the list. This is the list. Okay, can somebody give me the order, like should they happen in the same order, or should there be any change? Should these activities happen in this order, or should there be any change? Okay, so the activities are buy shed, buy blocks and sand and whatnot, build foundation, and assemble shed. Okay, not blocks. Okay, sorry for that. So should these activities happen in the same order? If you agree, you can say yes. If you don't agree, they can propose an order here. Yes, tell me. So should I do just buying the shed, buy the blocks one by one, like is this the order which I should follow? Yes, anyone. If you agree, you can say yes. Yes. Hassan is very excited. Anyone who has any other idea? Okay, so I'll take that everybody is agreeing. So let us have a look. Okay, so you can see the three levels here. Okay, the first level, the project itself. Second level, the three activities, the main activities. Okay, and within the foundation you have the buying blocks and the cement. Okay, so this is within the foundation. Okay, so when you do this, then the foundation activity uh, can be done. Okay, so you see the three. Preparing the foundation can be further subdivided into at least two activities. This is missing one activity, I would say, I will tell you, which is after you buy the blocks. Okay, then you will have to prepare the foundation. Okay, so the construction of the foundation should be somewhere here. Okay, so construction, the pouring of the foundation, like the making of the foundation, should be somewhere here. So this is missing one thing. Okay, now this is what you call as a Gantt chart. Okay, we haven't discussed it, but Gantt chart is like a timeline. You can see the timeline. Okay, Gantt chart is a timeline. So you start from day zero. Gantt chart always starts from day zero. Gantt chart always starts from day zero. So day zero is the day when you have started the project. Okay, and this is the normal scenario. Okay, so now you can see here, when you order the shed from the supplier will take 9 days. Okay, when you order the shed, it will take 9 days to arrive. By that time, you want to prepare the site so that when the shed arrives, your site is ready to assemble it. Okay, so assembly cannot happen without the arrival of the shed itself. So assembly and shed are one after the other. I cannot break this. Okay, but buying blocks will not take time. Building foundation will not take days. Okay, you can see, okay, it takes 2 days, fine, but it does not need the same amount of time. And buying blocks, okay, you go to the market and you buy blocks, you don't have to order it from somewhere. Okay, so you can see they are using different terms here, ordering and buying. So ordering usually is for a long term item, okay, long haul item which is coming from somewhere. It usually takes more time period. And buying is you go and buy. Okay, it's immediate. So you can see here, for the first 6 days they're not doing anything. Okay, they just order and they start the work on the 6th day. Okay, so they go, now the time has come, the shed will be arriving soon, let us go to the site, or let us buy the other items which you need. So we buy them. Okay, and we start building the foundation. Okay, and when foundation is complete, shed has arrived, we will assemble it. Okay, so foundation will be under the shed, obviously, so you need the foundation to have the shed. Now couple of things here. First of all, I have to buy the blocks. Why didn't I buy it on the 5th day or the 6th or the 4th day or the 3rd day? Okay, why I'm delaying it till the 6th day? Okay, I need 2 days to build the foundation. Okay, so I'm planning it. Okay, 1 day buying, 2 days of building, then the shed will arrive. So why don't I do the buying earlier? Okay, in this scenario, keep it in mind, in this scenario the buying is very timely, because after the buying immediately you are starting the building. So you don't need to take care of the blocks which are just laying on your site. Okay, so we don't want to buy things too early and then we need to store them properly for 1 week. Okay, so if they bought the blocks here and they were planning to build the foundation on the 7th day, so they have to take care of the blocks for 7 days, they have to store it somewhere. Okay, but in this case they can just leave it in the vehicle, because on the next morning they will start building it. Okay, so you don't need a proper storage for that. Okay, so you are reducing or you are managing your resources effectively. Okay, another thing is, this scenario has a problem in it. The problem is with the foundation. Okay, the assembly of the shade is immediately after building the foundation. Okay, now from the looks, it seems like they are building the foundation using concrete, because they are asking for sand and aggregate and these things. Okay, so it seems like the foundation is made up of concrete. Okay, once you make the foundation, or once you make anything out of concrete, you need to give some time to do what? Tell me. Concrete, before you remove the formwork or before you do something, so you made beams, now you have to put the slab on it, but before you do that you need some time to do what? Whenever you have a concrete member, after pouring the concrete, you need to give it some time, and that time is for which activity? Tell me. Curing, yes. Okay, so in this case there is no time for curing. Okay, there is no time for curing. Okay, which is wrong, obviously. You cannot do like this. Okay, without curing you cannot uh, put anything, like concrete will not be able to take the load. Okay, so either you have to keep it in the formwork, then it will be problematic. How will you remove the formwork once the shade is on the top of the concrete? Okay, so what can be done? uh, this is what I just said. Okay, so this is the new Gantt chart now. Okay, so we are doing the buying and the ordering on the same day, and then we do the building immediately. Okay, so still no problem of storing it. Okay, no problem storing it. And then from day 3 till day 9, the foundation can be cured. Okay, from day 3 till day 9, the foundation can be cured. Okay, so 7 days curing is very normal. You can still do the curing after that as well. But after 7 days, you can remove the formwork and the concrete is able to take some of the load. Okay, so this is what you need to keep in mind. Okay, so this is from a Microsoft project software. So this is the interface of the software. Okay, so we are already familiar with the levels. So this is level 1. When you see 2 digits, this is level 2, and when you see 3 digits, this is level 3. So you can see the project, okay, or the actually this is level 1. Level 0 you cannot see here. Okay, the project is level 0, this one. Okay, anyways, on top of everything there will be another level which is level 0. You cannot see it here. Okay, so this is like from level 1. So there is level 0 as well, which you cannot see here. Okay, so level 1 has how many deliverables? 5. Concept, website design, website development, rollout, support. Okay, don't ask me what these things are, I don't know. Okay, if I knew, I will not be here, obviously. I will be sitting somewhere else and hacking systems or something. Okay, so then within the first deliverable, you can see we have 6 major tasks. Okay, evaluation, define specific functionality, define risk, define develop project plan, and brief web development team. Okay, so you can what you call collapse it and expand it. Okay, so it's interactive. So I just want to see at level 1 activities or task 1 activities, so I can just open that one and see it. Okay, so for each activity you can see the duration here. Okay, and this seems to be in terms of weeks. So you can see every month has 4 weeks. Okay, 4 or 5. Okay, so the timeline can be in days. In this example it was in days. In this it is in weeks, and you can change it in the software. You can change it, obviously. Okay, so they have more flexibility here. Okay, so in this example it looks like weeks. Okay, so now you see task 1, it is going into 4 weeks of January and the first week of February. So 5 weeks, 5 weeks basically. Okay, so all the activities within this task must be completed in these 5 activities. Okay, this black line which you see here is depending upon the timeline of these activities. So if I took this activity and I put this over here, okay, so instead of January I put it to March. Okay, so this black timeline will automatically move to March. Okay, so the timeline of the main activity depends upon its subtasks. Okay, the timeline of the main activity. So we don't define timeline of concept. We will define the timeline of the work packages. Okay, so how much time or when will you do evaluate current systems? Okay, when this starts, concept starts. When will you finish the last activity? Let's say the last activity is brief web development team. So when you finish this activity, concept task is finished. Okay, so this is where you need to look at the lowest activity. Okay, I already gave you the 880 rule. Okay, so this is why you need to be careful. Okay, because if you are merging different things into one task, or if you are making 2 small things into task, then it will be hard for you to define their duration. Okay, and their duration will affect the main activity, the main deliverable. Okay, so so in the softwares you can see the breakdown here. Okay, you can see the different WBS levels. Okay, and you can see the Gantt chart over here. Okay, and they are interrelated. You can produce something similar in Excel as well. Okay, something similar can be produced in Excel, but this interconnection will not be there. You see the interconnections here, right? So interconnections will be very difficult. Like you have to do it manually then. Okay. But anyways, the left hand side gives you the activities, the right hand side gives you the schedule, the Gantt chart. Okay. Making WBS is very common. It is, we already discussed the advantages for making WBS. Okay. Does anyone remember the advantages of a WBS for us for a project? We have looked at so many things. Okay. Do you remember any advantage of a WBS? Why should I bother for a WBS? Before you go on to the disadvantages, what are the advantages of a WBS? Yes, if I have a WBS, what advantages will I have? Yes, you can do accurate cost estimation. Okay, anything else? Anybody? It increases the efficiency of work. Yes, because everybody knows what to do and who is responsible and so on. Better project organization. Yes, in bold letters as well, right? Okay, so I think it's enough. Better time scheduling, yes. Better cost estimation. Okay, so now let us look at some disadvantages as well. Okay, the world is not perfect, so everything which has advantages has some disadvantages as well. So the first disadvantage is preparing a WBS takes time. It requires effort, and any change happens in the project, you need to go back and update the WBS. Okay, so WBS has to be interactive. It will take a lot of time and effort to prepare the first draft, and after preparation you cannot leave it, you have to update it as well. And normally in construction projects you have to update it. Like there's no construction projects which goes according to plan from start to end, from day 0 to the last day. Okay, so updation is very normal. So it's taking a lot of effort at the start. It also takes some effort during the project as well. No, I'm busy with the concreting and handling labor and client approval, government approval, and then somebody comes and says, "Oh, you have to update the WBS as well." Now imagine, you know, what would be the feelings? What would be the feelings? Okay, uh, so WBS can become very large for large projects. Okay, so you are talking about, let's say, 100-story building. Okay, or a development project which is uh, a big development project which has malls and shops and houses and villas and multi. So you are the project manager of this whole housing project. Okay, so you can imagine how many activities you have to uh, take into account. Okay, so that in that case your WBS will not be what I have showed you in some of these slides. Okay, you will have a taste of it when you are doing it for your term projects. It can become very long and complex with a lot of activities. Okay, so in the conventional approach, the traditional approach is you are looking at the final product and what we need to achieve the final product. Okay, so in this case there's a chance that you may miss the important tasks, because you are saying, okay, I want to construct a building needs a superstructure, a substructure, and that's it. But maybe you are missing that I need to the soil is very weak, so I need to put some what do they call it, like do some filling or remove the soil or reclaim the land or something. Okay, so you are looking at the regular tasks which are part of the project, but you are not looking at the site conditions or some important thing which you need to do the actual task of the project. So this is the problem with the conventional approach. uh, And WBS is started before the project. WBS created before the execution of the project. So everything or a lot of things in this chart are assumptions. You are assuming the rates, especially the timeline, big assumptions, very important assumptions, very critical. They never go according to plan. Okay, I already gave you the example of the ordering the shed. So you order a lot of things when you are doing the construction work. Okay, and you are assuming a lot of things that this company will do this, and this I will have the labor available on the site, and I need this much time for curing. There will be no rain and so on and so forth. Okay, so there are a lot of assumptions. So usually the entire structure can collapse if your assumptions are incorrect or incomplete. So you are basing your entire structure on something which you cannot be sure of. Okay, no matter how much care I take, these are still assumptions. I have not started the project actually. Nobody knows what's happening in future except Allah. So that's a big issue with preparing a WBS. Uh, WBS can become outdated very fast if the project from the first day deviates from the plan. Okay, so you plan that the consultant will have the design ready by this day. Okay, and the plan will have a normal the consultant will be using normal materials. I don't have to buy something from outside. But then you get the actual plan which is 1 week late, and now the consultant is saying in this weather, oh, it's very hot in Bahrain, we cannot use this type of, we cannot use steel in windows and so on. I changed the design. Okay, so now you have to order things which will come from somewhere else. Okay, so the entire work breakdown, because if you change one activity, it is depending on the other activity, or it is affecting the other activity. Okay, so everything is interlinked. You can see it over here. You see these arrows are showing the interlinkages. So the same thing happens in a construction project as well. The activities are interlinked. So if one activity changes, the entire structure can go outdated. It's no longer usable. Okay, so conventional WBS is project specific, and cross project comparisons are difficult. One project is not like the other. We discussed earlier the main difference between a project and an industry is every project is unique. Every project is unique. So you cannot say I worked on 100 building projects. I can create a WBS of a new building project with 100% certainty, and it will not go outside the plan in any case. It's not possible. Every building project, even if it looks like the same, it's unique. It has some new features in it. Okay, so if you are doing it based upon your previous assumptions and experience, it can still go wrong. Okay, some of the examples. Okay, I'll just maybe go through one or two, and the rest you can have a look. Okay, so this is for the construction of a community center. Okay, so the level 1 is the project itself. Okay, then you level 2 major deliverables: site work, foundation, structure, exterior finishes, interior finishes, MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, landscaping. Okay, then level 3 for each one I will have a level 3, some level 3 activities, right? Site work involves what? Clearing, grubbing, excavation, grading, utilities installation. Okay, all this part of site work. Foundations include these 4 items. Structure includes these 3 items. Exterior finishes, these 2 items. Interior. Now somebody can divide this into multiple items as well. It depends upon how big is this item. Drywall, painting, flooring, ceiling. Okay, so if I'm talking about a 50-story building, then only the drywall can be one item, because drywall itself will take some days and some time, and a significant amount of cost. So anything which takes some significant effort in terms of time, cost, and resources, you can make it into a separate activity. This one, maybe the drywalls are not so big of an item. They can be completed in one day. So I can mix it with the other items. Okay. MEP, again, landscaping. Okay, so the division depends upon how much you want to go. Level 4. Okay, so level 4, we are just looking at the excavation. So this is level 4 just for, where it is, this item. From site work, the activity of excavation has level 4 as well. Okay, maybe the other activities have level 4 as well, to be honest, we don't know. Okay, we are just stopping here, just one example. So level 4, this is the last level, so we call them work packages. Okay, work packages. So in excavation you have to do marking and layout, you have to do topsoil removal, you have to do general excavation, compaction, inspection. Okay, so this the same thing can be or may not be. It can be done, may not be done. So irrigation can go up to level 4, may not go up to level 4. Okay, same thing with the others. Okay, this is for example for a bridge construction, project initiation, design engineering. Okay, you have procurement, site preparation, this. Okay, so this is, you can see, is longer and it has some activities in it as well. Okay, this is what we normally miss in traditional WBS. Okay, but this is for an airport, yes. Okay, so in traditional activity WBS you will not see project initiation, you will see something like this. This is traditional, but in airport is a government project, so you can see an extra activity for project initiation. And somebody may ask, why do you have an activity for project initiation? How will it help me in building the airport? We know this is required. Okay, and you can see it has a lot of activities in it, important and time consuming activities in it. Feasibility, environmental impact assessment, approvals, stakeholder engagement, budget funding approval. We are talking about millions of dollars, okay, or millions of BDs. So funding approval can still take 6 months or so. Okay, so it depends upon. So in this WBS is slightly complex level, slightly higher level, slightly advanced level, because of the type of project you have. Okay, so I will stop here. There are other examples. I advise you to have a look at them. Okay.